Alright, hopefully we are back up and running now. Looks like we had a little bit of an issue, technical difficulties. Hopefully that's not the case. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick check.
Oh, well, the car near the wall champions. That's a goose.
And we have a 3-second time penalty now for Jamie Shelby. We're going to be back on board running now. Looks like we are good to go after having potentially some technical difficulties there for the first few laps of the race. Do apologize. Looks like we may have missed all the sprint and the feature for you, or the first few laps of the feature. We apologize for that if that was the case, but we appear to be live and up and running again, so very happy about that. For those of you that have been around, you haven't really missed too much. Loaded having issues as well, dropping back to P16 from running a P2 position, had a little bit of issues. Freedom jumped the start, missed time the launch, had to do a drive-through. Prior to doing that, on the softs, he did have an issue where he did get into the wall, dropping way back to P20. Not the day he was hoping to come back from after the break. Jimmy Shavel now on the DRS, coming down into turn 1, looking to make a move on the inside of Matatak. Almost contact between the two drivers. I don't think you could have put a sheet of paper between them. Not the smartest move on Jamie Shelby. He definitely sent it late when that was already kind of established on the braking line. I'm glad to see a penalty did not occur there. We're going to go ahead and ride on board here with Woffs, who's hot on the tail of those two, waiting for one of them to go ahead and make a mistake. Behind him, it's going to be Zeech and Nichols still battling for position. If you didn't hear us earlier, we were talking about the little bit of bobbles and corner cuts that Zeech had made there in Sector 2. You know, for somebody who puts in the amount of time as he does into this and has the number of leagues that he's a part of, you really just don't expect to see those kind of mistakes.
Oh,
but,
classy
hey,
into the wall.
What can we say? Sometimes talent can't be earned, it can't be bought, and it can't be learned. Sometimes you're just bad. But we'll see what happens. From what I hear, he did buy his seat into the division, but we have not been able to validate those claims. It is just hearsay and rumblings throughout the paddock area. Waffles now trying to get back up into winning form after letting Nichols get the victory at Japan last week. That broke a 3-race streak of wins for the Red Bull machine of Woffs. Tomo, his teammate, back in 11, always the bridesmaid, never the bride so far when it comes to points championships here in Fat Limits of Racing. I believe he's been second now in back-to-back years, and is really hoping to rebound from that. He is on a PC now, our lone driver on a PC outside of Big O. If he's able to make it in the Tier 2 division, those two running in the PC. No! Matatak gets very loose coming out of the turn as he gets onto the gas too soon. Waffles putting it on the outside, hoping to do a little bit of an undercut maybe, get the grip off the corner exit. He is not going to be able to do what he was hoping to, but he is going to get the DRS and should with ease go ahead and get around the outside of Matatak. Both drivers heavy on the ERS and neither one of them having absolutely any left. But because of the detection zone being at the hairpin, Woffs is going to get a little bit of a cheat here coming down the pit straight, as he's going to have DRS and not have to use any of the ERS that he expended to get around the Aston Martin car of Matatak. Pat Dog now out to a 3.5 second lead. It is his to lose. We've seen it before. Hopefully it does not happen again. Zeech now making quick work of Nichols, who at one point was 2 seconds back. Zeech must be doing some massive corner cuts or something, because he closed a 2-second gap down to less than a second rather quickly, as we do have an issue in Sector 2. I see a car, I think it might be Takeshi, the Alfa Romeo, driven by the young man out of the Midwest. Let me go ahead and go through the field real quick. Clip it. Clip it. Drive it and clip it, because that can be overturned.
Yeah, but you still get a penalty. You deserve it.
I'm just saying the illegal overtake though is just a grid dropper time that can be overturned by us. As Takeshi turning into Fat Lives Matter, not sure what's going on there. Running on board with John C currently. Now has DRS going up on the inside of Fat.
Swerving all over the back.
Takeshi, there is now the Takeshi rule, which means he cannot make more than one or two defensive moves. Probably more than one.
I think Jamie's good. I think he's just keeping his tires up.
Yeah, he did spin, so I could have been trying to clear him off a little bit. It looks like he made a little bit of a move, but John was able to get around with ease, as did Fat. As there is now a caution in Sector 1, I believe that could have been Woody, maybe getting a little squirrely there. And it looks, yep, that would be Woody Main, who got out of sorts there in the middle of Sector 1 going into the start of Sector 2. Going on board through the rest of the field now. Some drivers now starting to make their pit cycles. Jamie Shelby on the hards going to the end of the race. Alex Morris on the mediums, presumably going to have to pit one more time. And there on back, it's Loaded, Bumpy, Hold My Dung, and MCU Freedom, who have had the bad breaks so far in this race. MCU Freedom getting the hard break reward most likely today. Pat Dog now has lapped a few drivers, I believe now. Let's go ahead and check a look at the interval to the leader. Freedom, yes, has been lapped. He is 1 minute 12 seconds behind. That is a lapped position. And Pat Dog out in a league of his own. We're going to ride on board here with Matt Attack and Zeech, as Zeech has now gotten around Waffles, but somehow miraculously still has a little bit of ERS. These three drivers, all very, very aggressive. Fun to drive with all of them, but I'm not sure how much give and take there's going to be between these. As Jamie Shelby now picks up a 3-second time penalty, and the only driver in the race to have a time penalty thus far, using a little bit too much of the track limits there. Jamie Shelby now getting around Takeshi. As Takeshi, something must be wrong with his car. He had to have gotten a little bit of damage somewhere, because now he is dropping to Fat, to John, now to Jamie. Looking at our tire wear now, Pat Dog with the most wear at 39%, really using all of that medium compound Pirelli tire. Your top... Oh, we have another caution. Potentially retirement. MCU Freedom DNFs in the pit lane. That's going to give our drivers the inability to make it a pass now, coming out of the Casino Straight and Champions Wall down through the pit straight. But that's not an issue, as we were watching that, we did miss Waffs and Zeech getting around Matt Attack. That is unfortunate. Zeech is now hard charging after Pat Dog. Loaded Beast and Woody Main having the most ERS as we look at the live telemetry right now, both in the 70s. Good for them. Let's go ahead and ride on board here with Zeech and see what exactly he's doing.
There's like 4 cars, yeah. That's all you got. Slow. I'm just here for the drive.
Well, I missed that, watching Zeech for corner cuts. He's fast. He just needs a little bit of maturity. A little bit more sense. Oh, and Fat goes around. He gets on the throttle too soon. He goes around on the exit with a hairpin turn. Oh no, that is not what the Alpine team wanted to see. As Fat drops from P9 down to P15, but it does vault the other Alpine of Big Most up very close to that final points position as he runs behind John C., who is currently in P10. Cat Dog still at the most wear on his tires at 47%. The next closest being the string of 3 medium compounds behind him, Zeech, Waffles, and Ass Chaps, all at 40 and 41% respectively. Takeshi very much playing it hard on those as we read on board with him for a moment. The field is pretty much now sorted out with the exception being from about P8 to P14. And Zeech is still very much working on chasing down Pat Dog, who has to this point been on a Sunday drive as Zeech now dives into the pits with Waffles hot on his tail, presumably putting on the medium tires and making this a one-stop strategy. We will see. Yes, it will be a one-stop strategy for both Zeech and Waffles, who have very good pits, but I believe the Red Bull got out a little bit better than them. We'll see what happens. Presumably, As Chaps will be pitting next. We'll see if the undercut works on Pat Dog or if Pat Dog's going to be coming in on this next go-around. Running on board, and Pat Dog does pit this time around, hoping to avoid the undercut by Zeech. We will see how they come out together as Chaps is going to continue around with Nichols. Nichols is good to go for at least another 5 to 10 laps. Presumably going to try to flip the softs on at the end as we're riding on board with Zeech, who is going to stay behind Pat Dog, I believe. But watching his shifting patterns, it's going to be interesting though. He is now within 1.5 seconds. Actually, Pat Dog was able to maintain the gap he had prior to Zeech pitting. But what we're looking at here is we're watching how Zeech goes about his gear shifts here. It's very interesting to watch. All right, let's get to some battles now. John C. back with Takeshi. There could be some potential comeback being paid out. As the young man in the Alfa Romeo seems to have made a not so good pass, perhaps playing a little naughty here as John C. gets a little bit wide coming out of that chicane. And what I can tell John C. is that Takeshi only has 11% ERS. And he will not have the use of DRS. As Chaps now into pit. Zeech now within 1 second of Pat Dog, who had up until the pit stops led every single lap of the race. I just don't know if I believe that he's on strictly a controller.
Do that.
Zeech.
I believe it.
I'm watching. He is very, very smooth. I mean,
Oh
very
yeah, man, he
smooth.
plays the game all day. Time trial merchant. What I know is my pace sucks this race. Slower than dog shit.
Hey, but you weren't too far away from a points position. Oh, and Jamie Shelby DNFs. Will it? Oh, at Champions Wall claims its first victim. Jamie Shelby out of the race on lap 18. Not the result
Hey,
Mercedes was
let's
looking
go,
for. Both
baby.
cars now out of the race. And Hold My Dung picks up a drive-through penalty, speeding under the yellow flag. However, I think I may tell him to go ahead and clip if there was an issue with the with that. Let me see if I can get this young man of Hold My Dung here.
Big brain moves to pit the lap before.
Is it a full course safety?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's what
I
I
don't know
thought.
what Oak is doing. Okay, Oak is collision. Can, can I go around him? Dude, it's Hines.
If it tells you can, go for it.
It's telling me to pass him. He's too slow. He's just going like
Then
100.
go.
I'm going past him on this straight. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
I think they have deltas or something.
No, it's. I think it's what happened to a bunch of us at Netherlands last Thursday. Every time the safety car came out,
Oh, I think Oak's a lap down or something.
clip it. Uh oh. Yeah, if you. Oh, you have to serve Errol DQ, won't it? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 people got drive-throughs.
Oh, well, the race is fucked.
No, pit assist settings aren't changed. There's glitches with the games. Yeah, yeah. Nichols picked one up. Tomo, you, and Dung, I believe. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know how we can do that. Oh, so here's what it. So apparently the game itself has changed to where if you speed into the pits with a negative delta under safety car, it gives you a speeding penalty. It must have been in a patch or something, because I've never seen it happen. I'm saying one of the last ones that must not have been notified. Something definitely to be looking into. A lot of conversation going on about it in the Discord right now, currently. Yeah, no, you've had a good race. Well, unfortunately for our drivers, there's a handful that are going to have to serve a drive-through penalty with the risk of being disqualified on them. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about that. If it was a time penalty, that could be removed. But unfortunately, there's nothing else we can really do about that. Gonna have to stay on board with Zeech to make sure he doesn't do any shady corner cutting here. It's now he has
keep
some
an
very
eye
low
on.
pace. I mean, that would be in a perfect world, but unfortunately, I don't think some of our guys are willing to do that.
I got you, John.
What happened here?
I'm pretty slow, so once we get going again, I'm gonna wipe like 3 people out. But I want you to go through the pits before I do it, so you drive through them and catch up with you. That's what I'm saying. You do your drive through, and then I'm wiping people out, and it's gonna get you in the queue. Maybe get another safety car. Crashgate 2022.
Crashgate 2022.
Yeah, my arms are getting
Can
all
I
tired
fucking
here.
go?
Four. Dung, Johnsy, Prince Tomo, and Nichols. Yeah, the points leader. No, they're all in front of you. Except for Dung. Riding on board with Pat Dog as he gets a great jump coming up, but he slows down. So maintains the speed that's needed, but I think Zeech was ready for it. That could have put Pat Dog in a not so great position with Zeech hot on his tail as we now come down into the turn 1, 2, and getting up for the 3-4 chicane. Riding on board with Zeech now as we come down in. So far, so good for everybody. Pit road's going to be pretty busy here with these 4 drivers now having to go ahead and make their stop. We will not have DRS for at least 2. I believe it's 3 laps that'll come back after the safety car restart.
Yeah, I think it's 2 and it comes back on the 3rd.
Zeech getting up on the curbs a little bit. Hitting it just smoothly as can be as ever, though.
Oh, what a dive.
I was trying to keep
How
it as
do
tight
I
as I
get?
could
Oh,
for you,
We got a
John.
caution! We got a caution! Oh no!
How the
Lumpy
fuck
cheeks
do
and
I
fat
get
lives.
fucking involved in that? What the fuck, man?
Nichols serving his right away. John C. also serving his right away, followed by Dung. Prince Tomo, the lone driver to stay out with the drive-through penalty. Hopefully it won't be too bad. We know Nichols has the pace and so does John. You know, they're... Yeah, he very well could be, especially because everybody would pit for those softs. I would think he's going to do it this time by, because if he doesn't, he'll be disqualified in the next couple laps. But you know what? Not a great situation for Nichols, but because of where he was at, he is going to be in DRS capability. He's not going to be too bad. John C. and Hold My Dung going to have to work together in tandem, or I should just say John C. really going to have to put in some work as him and Hold My Dung are now both separated respectively by 4 seconds from the next closest vehicle. Pat Dog and Zeech each both hard on the ERS as they are trying everything in their power to create a gap and also slow a gap as we have one more car. Hold My Dung now in issues in turn 8,
Safety
turn 9.
car.
And I believe we have a full course safety car and another drive-through for Prince Tomo.
Oh my god.
And for
Maxie.
Classy.
Oh my god, what is going on?
Well, at least you're not alone.
Debating if I won't put on sauce now.
I would. 100% I would.
Go. I'm sitting in 8th right now. I don't know if I want to take tires or track position. How long did those sauce last for the guys at the beginning? We got 10 laps.
They're like 7, 8 laps.
I maybe scratch 10, and I'm going to be on the safety car for a lap. You know what? Yeah, I'll follow the leaders. I'll see what the leaders go on mediums. I have no idea.
Hold my dung. I don't know how, but it was hold my dung. And turn, I believe it was turn 8 and 9.
I am P8. Hey, Heinzie, what are these top 3 guys on mediums?
Give me one quick second. I'd be happy to tell you here. They should all be on hards.
Really?
They are all on hards.
Anyone pit?
I would be pitting if I were you, gentlemen. With 10 laps to go, absolutely.
I already did.
That
hoping
did.
Other people would go in.
That did, so it'll work out for us. One of us will get points. Yeah, I'll ride these mediums.
Moisty, you should have.
I'm slow, dude. Sauce ain't gonna help me any. I'd rather stay up here and my mediums aren't
Hey, what I
bad.
can tell you, joining us, Alex Morris is on 38% worn mediums. He has the most wear on track. Pat Dog, Zeech, Waffles, Mat Attack, all are between 16 and 19%. Chaps on the 13%. Takeshi on 14% mediums.
I think we're
Big
coming
Moist
in
on the
this
19
lap.
percenters.
This Ferrari.
Prying Oak not sharing any information because apparently he doesn't like to share his telemetry. Our biggest gainers on the day so far, Takeshi up 10 positions. Potentially could be losing maybe a couple of those depending on this finish. We do know that the AlphaTauri of John C. and team principal Lumpy Cheeks, the former Sean, well, I should say the Sean Matt's replacement, I believe, advocating the stewards look at some footage. The safety car will be in this lap. And we have Classy Maxi and Prince Tomo with drive-thrus. Heartbreak for Prince Tomo. Absolute heartbreak.
What are we doing here on the hair?
Just got backed up.
I probably took away from his drive.
Yep.
Yes, you did. But he could have had it happen anyhow by diving into the tits. And they're off. Away they go. The green flag conditions have resumed here with 8 more circuits around the track. Prince Tomo has been disqualified from the session for failure to serve his drive-through. Oh, you hate to see it.
Yellow. That's for his DQ.
He couldn't. He had to. And you can't serve it as soon as green flag conditions go. It is indeed, but you only have 3 laps. Yeah, that's, I mean, I'm telling you right now, nothing has changed on the way we start the races. So this is something on Cody's. I've never seen it happen. I don't have an answer. Now, if it was the glitch like we saw in Netherlands in Formula whatever, that's something the stewards can do. We can take those 5-second penalties away. Drive-throughs, however, there's nothing we can do because you risk disqualification if you don't serve it. Classy really, really hurting on this one. He's going to have to dive in this time by and hope for another late safety car. That could potentially preserve those soft tires for him. Pat Dog and Zeech battle rages on again as Fat just picks up the fastest lap of the race, taking it away from Zeech. Trying to do everything he can to help Nichols stay on top of the podium, as Nichols, despite that drive-through penalty, now back up to P9 in the points. And Zeech is all over the back end of Pat Dog. Pat Dog is going to be very aggressive in his defending, would be my guess, as he has not won a race yet this year when he's been leading.
Oh, John.
Squirrely.
John C getting a little squirrely there as he drops back now a little bit farther. Another caution, potentially those tires very, very heated. Is Prying Oak now dropping back to John C. And here we go. Zeech is now going on the inside of Pat Dog. Is not able to get the runoff that he needed. And he's going to go ahead and now use a lot of ERS as Pat Dog is going to battle back with ERS as well. This could get ugly going into Champions Wall Chicane.
Oh, God.
Zeech thinks better of it and backs out, and he's going to go ahead and get back on the ERS again. And Pat Dog's going to stay off it, trying to regain just a little bit. And it looks like Zeech is going to go ahead and make the pass and get around Pat Dog. Zeech now being the hare, as Pat Dog will now hope to chase him down, as Hold My Dung now takes away the fastest lap from Fat Lives Matter and sets a new fastest lap at a 1:12.812.
I'm fucked.
And Pat Dog now using the DRS and goes around Zeech. This could be a battle. It's going to be a battle of who has more ERS. Both drivers sitting at 25 and 30. It is an absolute game of cat and mouse and chess all at the same time, as Fat Lives now picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. We're going to go ahead and stay right here on this battle in the front. We have P positions 1 through 6. All very, very tightly close together within about 2.5 to 3 seconds of each other. Nichols makes up another position, getting around Alex Morris. He is now working on chasing down Takeshi, using every little bit of ERS he can with 6 tracks remaining.
Leave me no fucking space in this shit.
Who was that?
I mean,
was it Woody?
Nah, me and Lumpy were wheel to wheel. I probably should have backed out. Heat of the moment thing, but
I tried slowing down.
Nah, you're good. I just didn't expect the other cars there. Like, I didn't expect that to get there. It doesn't matter. That had no pace anyways.
Ooh, Pat Dog really using up a lot of his ERS to stay in front of Zeech. I don't know if that's going to be... Oh, and Zeech gets a heck of a ride. He goes wide to avoid. Pat Dog drops back 1 position, almost 2, but picks up a 3-second penalty. Oh, this is absolutely detrimental to his hopes, and I don't think he can really fight. He took evasive action. He went wide, but he could... Oh, no. What's he going to do? He is driving it very hard and deep as he gets back around and waffles down to Casino Straight and is now working to get in front of Pat Dog. Everything he's going to do is going to be using every last bit of ERS he has. He has 4 laps to get a 3-second gap. He can try to submit it, but I don't know if it'll be overturned. He was coming in very, very hot and heavy.
That playing a team game like this is Talladega giving me a bump trap. I don't know why I'm so slow here this year. I loved Canada last year. That feels awful now.
Oh, man. This may not be all that bad for Nichols now. As they run currently, let's look at the interval to the leader. Nichols 2 seconds back from the leader, which means if they finish right now, Zeech would drop from P2 back to P7. That would be a very big swing in momentum for a championship leader and his number 1 rival at the moment, Zeech. Given that we do have these, and Chaps now getting around Zeech, or excuse me, Chaps getting around Matt Attack. And it is very much nose to tail. Nichols is hot on their tail, being the driver with mediums right behind Keshi, but he has to be careful. These two drivers have gotten together before, if I'm Nichols, I'm very much watching what's going to happen between Takeshi and Matt Attack, both very aggressive drivers. And now Matt Attack picks up a 3-second penalty as well. And all these drivers using up absolutely every bit of track that they have. It's looking a lot better now for Nichols if he can stay clean. And Takeshi on a great drive. Takeshi coming from P16 to P8. Hopefully a little bit of learningness from that bit of aggressiveness that we saw at Japan, resulting in an 8th grid drop from his sprint finish. Zeech has now gotten around Pat Dog, but Pat Dog can't pretend that the time penalty is doesn't exist because, or that it exists. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but oh no, Fat now retires. Could we see a late race safety car? No, it is in the pits.
So we're delayed anyways, lap 33.
Takeshi now picking up a 3-second time penalty as well. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
All
there
of these top drivers. Oh no, and now Moist goes around in DNFs.
Oh no.
Oh, both Alpines, both Mercedes now out of the race. That is not what you want to see for these teams. There's people with a lot of 3-second penalties ahead of you. Yeah, you never know what can happen. But the way these drivers are going,
I'm so glad. It's
Nice with a fucking
Matt
broken
Attack.
front wing, just
Very
trying to
much on
keep
the
within
back
3 seconds
of-
of Woody.
oh, and Takeshi gets into the little bit of the outside wall coming out and just taps Champion's wall. That's going to allow Nichols to get around. Oh, but Takeshi makes a little bit of contact on the rear. Oh, and he hits Nichols again twice through turns 2 and 3. I'm sorry, that would be turns 1 and 2. Nichols very putting a lot of faith in Takeshi not to get into the back of him. He does, but fortunately he hits him square in the back as if they're bump drafting and does not spin or upset the balance of that Williams machine, driving by your points leaders Nichols. Nichols now working on getting around Matt Attack next. He will then have his eyes set on Chaps, Waffles, Pat Dog, and Zeech. There are 1.5 circuits around as now Woody picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Pat Dog right on the rear end, trailing behind Zeech. Here comes Wafts.
As it runs now, Zeech, 3-second penalty. Matt, 3-second penalty. Takeshi, 3-second penalty. Woody, 6 seconds. Hold My Dung, 3 seconds. Classy with 3 seconds. Wow.
Oof.
That is a lot going on.
Here we go, last lap. Pat Dog with the DRS Wafts with the DRS Chaps slowly falling back into the grass with Matt Attack.
And Pat Dog has to drive as if Zeech does not have a time penalty.
Watts
I
is
know
38% on that battery. He's coming for him. Oh, Watts clips the wall.
The question is, though, if you're Zeech, do you submit it and try to get it overruled and the penalty taken away? He was driving hard. It got way too up on Pat Dog. Had to take evasive maneuver, went to the outside. But if he didn't, cut the corners maybe previously in the race, he wouldn't have had that issue. If I'm Wops, I'm saving every bit of ERS I have now
40% right
for
here
this
for the back
casino straight and then just using it. But Pat Dog's going to defend heavily. It's going to be checkers or wreckers for these two drivers.
There he goes. He's dumping
Pat
the battery.
Dog is
Pat
now
Dog, no DRS.
out of ERS. He is out of the ERS.
Wops on the inside. Going for the move in the chicane. Backs out of it.
Wops
Trying to get him
out.
here.
Wow.
Ow.
Potentially trying to give him the first win of the year?
Ow. And then he puts him in the wall after they cross the line. Load it, retires.
Yeah,
DNF.
fuck, man.
Hold My Dung
Final
missing out
order.
of the points by 0.47 seconds due to a time penalty.
Pat Dog,
my.
Wafts, Chaps, Zeech, Nichols, Matt, Takashi, Lumpy, Alex. What do you mean picking up the last one for Ferrari?
But it's not done yet. There is still A lot of incidents already
Oh,
being
yeah.
submitted. It's going to be a busy evening and next day for our stewards. John, see you later, buddy. Unfortunately for him, had a very good drive there in the AlphaTauri. Just an unfortunate victim to circumstance with that drive-through. Unfortunately, it's one of those situations where you have nobody to blame. Cody's EA's at it again, yet again with a wonderful. Hey, but John C picks up the driver of the day, so that's, I guess, a little consolation there for our boy John C.
Holy.
Fuck, man. If I just didn't pick up wing damage in that last little stint to the safety car, I would have been like P.
And there you have it.
I could have
As
been
they
P5.
run, Pat Dog
P4
picking
even.
up his first unofficial victory of the year. We'll have to wait and see what happens with any reviews, penalties to be assessed, and the like from the results of this race. So your running order as they finished, or I guess I should say your unofficial finishing order, Pat Dog picking up his potential first win on the year, and I think maybe even his first ever victory, so a maiden victory here for Pat Dog. Waffles coming up P2, as Chaps in P3, Zeech dropping to P4 after that 3-second penalty. Nichols had a nice drive after a late drive-through penalty due to EA Sports and Codemasters yet again having issues with their game. Nichols coming in P5, followed by Matt Attack Takeshi. Lumpy Cheeks having a nice recovery drive as well, getting up to P8. Alex Morris in a reserve run, coming home P9 for Haas and the Americans. Woody dropping back to P10 after a 3-second time penalty. Hold My Dung just missing out by 0.4047, so 400ths of a second. Unfortunate for him. Then it's John C, Classy Maxi, Prying Oak picking up your fastest lap, robbing our top 10 of that extra bonus point. From there on out, it's Loaded Beast and Big Moist and Prying Oak. Actually, Prying Oak did not finish a lap down. He was able to make it back. It's just Loaded Beast, Big Moist, and Fat Labs being a lap down, and DNFs, with the exception being Prince Tomo getting disqualification. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for yet again another. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and get Pat Dog in here and see how he feels about that. Get a little interview going on. Let's see if we can get Pat Dog in here for a minute. You know he's going to be on the mic right now. Well, it looks like we won't be able to get Pat Dog, unfortunately. Thank you again for joining us for another round of Fat Limits F1 racing. Tier 1 division coming at you next week, or I should say on Sunday at 6 p.m. our usual time. It is also NFL Sunday, so a great day for motorsports. We have the Italian Grand Prix, we have NFL Week 1 action, we have NASCAR, and we have, of course, your favorite Fat Limits drivers coming at you. Up next on the docket is the Tier 2 division. Be sure to check out some of their streams. Nichols sometimes does do the streaming along with Waffles doing some broadcasting. We will catch you back here, same time, same place. Next, we will see you on Sunday, I should say, and we will go from there. Wow, that was a tongue twister at the end. And I apologize.